Okay, guys, welcome to our masterclass on duplication and onboarding. We obviously just had a crazy, exciting weekend with the launch of Joyome, and we're going to be doing a lunch and learn tomorrow in Team Taylor, all about that, how to use it for your business, what steps you should be taking right now, information about Joyome, all of those types of things. So, definitely join us for that, and hopefully our live stream will work tomorrow. Technology is awesome. But tonight I'm going to have Amy kick it off with our discussion on duplication.
Yes. All right. Hey, guys. So thanks for jumping on Zoom real quick. I know we've been loving the live format, but sometimes it's good for Sarah and I to see your face. So let's talk about duplication and onboarding. I know it's something we've been talking about a lot, but we really want to keep driving the point home because duplication is key to success in this business. And it's one of those things that I know for me and probably even Sarah, we didn't really have a good grasp on it when we first started, right? So many times when you're a brand new ambassador, you're not really sure, or you're brand new and you're bringing on people, so none of you are sure. So that's why duplication of these systems is so very important. Duplication is nothing more than a system that's repeated over and over and over and over. In fact, it should be monotonous to you. It should be something that you do it so often, it becomes habit. Like you don't even have to think about it, right? Duplication is not really what we want to focus on. It's the system. Because if you do the system, duplication happens. So often in this business, I know all of us as leaders have kind of struggled with, okay, I need a good duplication process. I need my team to duplicate this. I need my team to do what I do. But guess what, guys? The talent does not duplicate, right? You cannot duplicate my personality, how I talk to people, my influence. You can't duplicate Sarah's talent, right? She's an expert at talking on the phone with people. You cannot duplicate that. What we can duplicate, though, are these systems and how we onboard people. When you start using systems, it does several things. One, it actually makes it easier for you as the business builder. It makes it easier for us. When I have a new ambassador, if I know I have to do these 4 things, I sit down, I check them off the list, it's done. If I don't have that system, then I'm just pulling things out of the air. They may not make sense. I may have to go spend extra time looking for something to send them, and it's not as effective. So the first thing systems do for all of us, it actually makes our jobs easier. Right?
Oh, get some feedback. Hold on.
The other thing that systems do, it actually reduces fear. It reduces the fear in our new business builders who sometimes are afraid to grow their business because they feel like they don't know enough, right? But it also reduces the fear of the new ambassador, because when you plug them into a system, we now become this professional organization. Think of all companies you've ever worked for. I don't care if you worked, if you're a teacher, if you were a class A senior level executive, or in high school if you worked the drive-through. I guarantee all of them had systems for their new employees, right? They all had a new employee training system that everyone had to go through. That's what we want to be doing with our Plexus businesses. The other thing systems do, it increases confidence. You're going to be more confident in your business, and your new ambassador, your new customer, your new wholesaler, they are going to have increased confidence in Plexus as a company, in you as a businesswoman or businessman, and in return, that confidence will spill over into our products. The other thing I love about systems, you guys, it levels the playing field. Because once you start focusing on systems, anyone can do this business, right? So oftentimes you might have somebody come to you and say, hey, I can't do this business because I do not have the amount of time that you have to work this business, because they don't see you using these simple systems that are easy, duplicatable, that they can just plug and play. And from day one, they can start doing it. So we want to be like all the other companies out there, all the other businesses, all the other industries where we have these systems. It's basically, like I said, it's a standardized set of processes that you repeat over and over and over, right? And I think you've heard us say it before on the other training, but it's something we want to keep talking about as a team, is that really to become successful, we have to become system dependent. We cannot become people dependent because people will fail us. How often have you had somebody that you were so excited was going to be a rock star? They had such great potential, but they didn't do it, right? They failed. So people will fail, systems don't. And one way to think about that is when you have somebody who joins your team and you treat them differently based on your assumptions of them, they do not have the same level of success. And it usually happens because you don't add them to the team page or you don't send them the compensation plan because you assume they don't want to work the business. They've already told you they don't want to work the business. So what do? You defer from the system. You don't add them to the team page. You don't send them that compensation plan. You don't even talk about going silver. Guess what happens? Then you don't end up having business builders, right? People fail, systems don't, okay? It also eliminates our projections onto people because no matter what, I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're the biggest skeptic. I don't care if they're ready to fast start. They all go through the same onboarding system. So I'm really, really excited about it. The other great thing about systems is when you do have someone on your team, or if you are in huge momentum and you're recruiting a lot, it actually makes you more successful with a stronger foundation, because we know there's the curse of fast growth. If you grow really fast and you don't have that system in place of how you're duplicating, we've seen it time and time again that those people fail, right? So if you have a system and everyone follows it, it's really easy. Sarah and I have come up with a super simple system. That's the key to systems. It has to be simple. It has to be where you could eventually do it in your sleep. All right. And plus we don't want to hit our new people with a fire hose. Then we're really going to freak them out. So Sarah is going to go into a little bit more detail. You guys have seen the 7 and the 30 that we talked about. Those first 48 hours, guys, are so important. If you're not doing that, start it right away. But tonight we want to highlight just how important it is. And that's what Sarah's going to talk about.
Absolutely. So these systems are going to set you up for success. They're going to empower the people underneath you, and they're going to eliminate that fear factor that Amy was talking about. So when you have somebody new sign up to your business, and they're just a wholesaler, or they're not that interested in the business, or even during the prospecting process, you can tell them things like, look, we've got this incredible proven system that all I have to do is walk you through and plug you into, and you're going to have success in this. It's more professional. Like I said, it empowers them, and it will bring them just that confidence in what they're doing, that they know the next step. They know what's expected of them. And then as a leader on you, this is going to be much easier for that onboarding process. Do it right the first time. Give them something simple to duplicate down, something concrete, visual that they can see. I think a lot of times what we're trying to duplicate is abstract. It's not something that they can see. It's not something that is a form to follow, or a list of steps or anything like that. It is, well, you do this, 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 and this, and then it's duplication of knowledge, which is a scary thing, to try and duplicate, because you really can't. They've got to seek that knowledge out for themselves. So this process that we're going to line out for you guys is really meant to be more efficient for you guys, kind of eliminate all the peripheral confusion that can happen when we're trying to lead our teams and that sort of thing. So I'm really excited about it. I'm going to start screen sharing, because I made a PowerPoint to help you guys, or to help me explain this to you guys. And let me get this started. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. Just give me a thumbs up if you can, because I don't want to run through this whole process if you guys can't even see the...
We can see it.
Okay, cool. So we want to do 4 specific systems for you guys: onboarding, prospecting, training, and coaching. Now, we have talked to you guys about our 2-7-30, and we have talked to you guys about coaching. So there's going to be a little bit of reiteration of that on here in a really simple way. But both of those things are very important, so we wanted to include them in this as well. So, as Amy said, the first 48 hours that you're bringing an ambassador on board are so critical. And it is absolutely imperative that you treat every single ambassador, wholesale or not, runner, fast starter, ambitious, or not really sure why they're here, the exact same way. Because you never know. You cannot prejudge people, and people's minds change in a second. And the best way to get your people started with confidence and support is to walk them through all of these simple steps, whether wholesaler or not. So of course, you want to add them to the team pages. You want to send them a welcome email, which I'll talk about in a second. You want to run them through our shout out post that we've talked about multiple times. The shout out is just something as simple as, hey, I just want to give my Amy Welch a shout out because she introduced me to Plexus. It's helped her with XYZ. I can't wait to get started on my products. It's not them saying they're starting out sharing or anything like that. So it's that simple shout out post. We have graphics made for it. You guys have seen it on the team pages, that kind of thing. And then we get them in a 3-way chat with our sponsor. Simply an introduction. This isn't a training chat or anything like that. It's simply introducing them to a next line of support. And then we get on the phone with them to walk them through their products, their virtual office, make sure their subscription order is set and in place, and any questions that they have. This phone call is critical because it helps you determine exactly where they're at, what pace they want to work this business at. Those are the objectives you want to get out of this call. Then in that initial email, which I'll show you guys how to set that up, this is going to be the guide that you send them, this Launching Strong guide. Every single person, wholesaler or not, is getting this particular guide. And I'll show you guys in the email the verbiage that you can use so that they're not sitting here overwhelmed. You guys, this is probably going to be the single biggest reason that you have wholesalers go ahead and jump on board with the business, because it's going to give them confidence that they have a system to follow. It's going to show them that we are very professional. We have a way to bring them success, and it's going to eliminate that fear that we were talking about. And you guys, when you send them that initial email, when you send them everything, they're going to look over that. They're going to look at each of it because they're excited. They just joined as an ambassador. And so they're going to look through and they're going to see all of the stuff that's in that email, and they're going to click through and they're going to look at this and they're going to be like, oh, that's all it takes. This is really all that there is to getting started. You don't have to go over this in the phone call with them, right? What you have to do is send it to them. So if you are having that initial phone call and the person tells you and you ask them, okay, so what do you want to get out of this? Are you wanting, and I can't see the chat right now, guys, I'm sorry.
I'm keeping up with it.
Okay, cool. So when you send them this initial email, and this is in it, this isn't something that you have to go over with every single ambassador verbally over the phone, but you need to mention it to your wholesalers and say, hey, in that initial email I sent you, we have our Launching Strong guide. Just look over it when you get a second. So in the event that you do want to start making this a business, those are the steps we take to bring it to something as super, super email or easy as that. Hold on, we've gotten some feedback again. Let me see. Okay, I think we're okay. Sorry about that, guys. But so to go, on from there, all you have to do from that place forward is if you do have somebody that says in their pace section that, that they are ready to run, they want to fast start, they want to hit silver, they want to get their products paid for, whatever it is, some sort of aspect of building the business, that's when you start talking through this. And you don't have to, this isn't something that you do in the first phone call. I'm going to walk through that as well. So this is the first page. This is the second page. So on the first page, it was all about their goals a little bit, their why, what's keeping them motivated, their list of 10, that type of thing. So it's just kind of those really basic things. And then this is also an organization thing and a roadmap to success over their first 30 days. So you guys are both looking at the same sheet. You're both following it through over the course of their first 30 days, and it matches up excellent with our 2-7-30 plan. So this isn't something that is in a, separate from that 2730, this is a supporting document for both of you guys to stay on track and to kind of help hold each other accountable during that first 30 days. So it has the shout out post on there. It has the curiosity announcement, which is, we can talk through that as well, but it's basically, hey, I joined this really great new company. I can't wait, just building curiosity within their market. Then when they get the welcome kit, they are unboxing that and showing that during their first 7 days or when the kit arrives, and then talking through at some point during that first 30 days, talking about why they're doing Plexus. Mm-hmm. We're not making them post a big testimony or anything like that, but these are 4 things that we know has helped so much during that first 30 days. Just something easy to kind of guide them and give that check mark. The milestones then, and then the getting plugged in, it shows, the goal is to get your first 3 customers. So goal is to get 3 customers, 3 ambassadors. So that silver promotion, the 500 PV. You want to have the events, the launch party, and the 7-day trial that we host every single month. These are merely pointing out these things that they should be thinking of during their first 30 days. Of course, the 1,000 PV is a goal, but you guys, really that 500 PV is the benchmark. But we don't want to just set it at that. Like if you have somebody that's rocking it out of the gate, you want to mention that 1,000 PV mark as well. So then in the get plugged in section, of course, Team Taylor or your own, team page, whatever you've decided to do there. My YouTube channel is on there. Our Business Builders, the 30-day is on there. The 7-day experience and the testimony group. Those are all the really big keys to duplication as well, that we're going to run through with you guys as well. And then those activity assignments, those are huge because that's where you're going to talk through the pace and what you want them to be doing. Okay, what's the next step? What are their goals? What are the actions that they have to take? Say we have the 7-day trial coming up. You're going to talk them through how to share those 7-day trials and how to get them in people's hands. And you're going to give them some activities that they need to do to be able to do that. Maybe they need to host their launch party. Maybe they need to schedule a launch party, something along those lines. So that's kind of more up to you. Next, so this is the new ambassador email. I'm going to upload this document into, and this is not something you have to like verbatim. You guys make this your own. This is my wording. This is my verbiage. This is just what works for me. But I wanted to give you guys some really good understanding of how to present that. Let me move this little box over here, how to present this particular, the Launching Strong guide in it, because we've always included the compensation plan information, we've always included the welcome email, the product instructions, that type of thing. We're going to be including this Launching Strong guide in there as well. And even there, you can see I highlighted that aspect on the screen. I'm going to be calling you to go over your products, your virtual office, and answer any questions you have. I've also included this email in our on this email, our Launching Strong guide. Whether or not you sign up to create an income stream with Plexus, I want you to have this guide. It's our simple, tried and true system for success in Plexus. If and when you're ready to start sharing, we simply walk you through our system and support you every step of the way. So that's the verbiage that's going to help you guys and make it, like I said, make it your own. But that's the type of verbiage that you want to use in there so that they understand why that guide's in there, what it's for, that you're not forcing them to share, but if and when they're ready, that it's there for them to have success. That is also duplicatable, that email. When they get it, they have it, they know, okay, when I signed up, I got that email, these are the things I got, I'm going to send that on to you. Duplication stops when you stop using the system. So if you have a prospect that you're signing up and you don't use all of these tools and stuff, you're stopping the system there and they're not going to duplicate it down to their people. Does that make sense, guys? So then we've talked about the 2730 before, but the next 7 days or the first 7 days, you want to make the list. So longer than that first 10, list of 64, get that launch party started, hosted, at least get it on the books so that it is executed during their first 30 days. You want to get them started in 3-way chats. And these are for like the running ambassadors, right? You're not going to be hosting like 3-way chats in a launch party, probably with a wholesaler. This is for business building ambassadors. You want to help them goal set during their first 30 days because you want to know, are they a person that wants to just get their products paid for, or are they trying to hit fast start gold? That's imperative knowledge that you know, so that you know how to lead them during this time. And then you want them plugged in with our team events and trainings as well. First 30 days, you want to teach them how to share their impact story, their why statement. That was one of the lives we're going to have them do. You want them using third-party tools for prospecting. So third-party tools, we have that huge document of different third-party tools, product attribute sheets. Our Healthier and Happier Team Taylor testimony group is a huge third-party tool with all those testimonies in one place. We have videos, we have product information, all of those things. Those are third-party tools. Third-party tools are essentially anything other than you. Third-party tools can actually be your upline too. So say Amy is my upline, and I'm not sure, this person just really needs some more validation. They need somebody with a similar story, something along those lines. I'm going to stick them in a three-way chat with Amy, and I'm going to see, have her help me explain this a little bit better to them, because sometimes it just takes that to bring in that validation. Somebody else saying the exact same things you do just validates everything that you just said and makes them feel more comfortable with this. So those three-way chats are huge, three-way phone calls, whatever you want to do. And then the goal over that first 30 days is to actually contact that list of 64. So getting through that list of 64 that you made during your first 7 days. Where it says contact every other day, if you have a business builder that has brand new signed up to your team, you need to be talking to them. You need to be checking in with them. You need to be giving them those activities and then saying, okay, call me when you've got that activity done, or message me when you've got that activity done. Checking in, providing them support brings them confidence and belief. So the pace is adjusted for each and every one of those people, but this is just our easy, simple for the first 30 days, the simple system, excuse me. So within that first 30 days, you want to teach them how to prospect wisely. So leading with your impact story, leading with why. We've done a bunch of videos on this in our 30-day group, so you guys can find that if you're a little bit lost on what that is. And then sending that third-party tool as part of the process. So if you are getting an objection, a lot of times in your business, and people are saying, well, I'm just not a salesperson. I don't think I can do this. You guys, you're talking too much. That's what it boils down to. You are talking too much during your process. Even if you know all the things, all the information, and you know all about gut health, you can get really technical in with our products and that sort of thing. You don't want to be their source of information, because that's not duplicatable. Talent is not duplicatable, and it's going to make them think, man, Amy is so smart. I don't know if I can do this. That's a lot of stuff to learn. That seems like a lot of time. But if she's instead sending you a product attribute sheet and saying, hey, look over this, or sending you a testimony or a video of some sort, if she's sending you guys that, then you're like, oh my gosh, all she did to explain this to me was send me a video. I watched it. She held me accountable for watching it, and I did. And that's how I learned about this. They can do that. That shows them that they can do this. So this smart prospecting it starts the duplication system even during that prospecting time, even when they're not yet signed up for the business. Then you set the follow-up, you do a three-way chat, or you add them to an event, and then you close. And you do this over and over and over again. Now, a smart start also duplicates down. If you are starting people off the right way with a welcome pack and a 100 PV subscription, and getting them to commit to 90 days, or if they are not willing to do those 3 things, you're signing them as a customer until they're ready to commit to those 3 things, that's going to duplicate down. And smart prospecting, smart starting is good for both of you guys. So that smart start isn't just a selfish business building tool for us. It does not make sense for your prospect to not follow those 3 things. If they're not willing to purchase a welcome pack, unless there's just not a welcome pack that matches up with their needs, then we need to re-examine that, because a welcome pack is the best possible price for both, for the new person signing up And obviously it's the best for your business as well. The 100 PV subscription, you guys, this is a basic benchmark. If they are only signing up to purchase one product at 75 PV or less, or what have you, anything under 100 PV, it does not make sense for them to sign up and pay that $34.95. It does not make up. And if they are not willing to, it doesn't give them the savings that they think they're getting, right? So they're paying wholesale prices, but they're actually paying more. So if they're under 100 PV on their subscription and that's what they're wanting to take over the course of the year, it's not worth it. So that 90-day commit is also really big too, because that $34.95, you got to think about that. That's what they're having to pay to sign up. And if they're not willing to commit to 90 days, they probably need to be signing as a customer and not wasting that extra $34.95 until they're really ready to commit for a much longer period of time. Mm-hmm. So, move this screen back over here. Okay, so using our team tools for prospecting. So this is something that I really want everybody to get in the habit of because it's so duplicatable. That add tag message in the Team Taylor Testimonies group, that group needs to be used to the fullest extent. So I love to add every single customer or prospect, new ambassador, if I didn't add them during the prospecting process, to the Team Taylor Testimonies group. It builds belief. I don't know where all those, do you guys see those red lines?
Again, last time it was blue, remember?
That is so strange. Oh, they went away. I'm not even touching it.
It's possessed.
I don't know. Something's going on with my computer, I guess. Or somebody's playing a funny joke on me. But anyway, so the Team Taylor Testimonies group, I use that for my prospects. I use that for my customers. I use that for my ambassadors. So during the prospecting process, anytime I start talking to somebody, I'm adding them to that group, because even if they don't sign up right then with me, even if that's not, what ends up happening, they're in that group then, and they see those testimonies and they can go and look through and they can get a broader scope of what's going on with Plexus and what the possibilities are. So what we say with the add tag message is you ask them first, but then you add them to the group, you tag them in a post, and then you message them and say, hey, this is the post I tagged you in, this is why I want you to look at it. And then we're going to be, I'm promising you guys this, we're going to be using that group in a more robust manner, but we need your help in doing that. We want your teams adding their testimonies in there as soon as they have them. This needs to be like a benchmark in their journey. As soon as you hear somebody say, oh my gosh, Amy, guess what? I'm pain-free now, or I've lost 10 pounds, or what have you. Amy needs to turn around and say, oh my gosh, would you be willing to put that in in our testimony group? That's going to help so many people. Number one, even if they're just a wholesaler, that gives them a sense of pride and ownership, and it's exciting to type out your testimony. It's exciting to be a part of that, and it might get them comfortable started sharing. Number two, it helps everybody, because the more testimonies that are in there, the more robust that tool is for us to use, and the more searchable. We have tons of live videos, but you can't search those with keywords, so we need more written ones in there as well. Live videos are great. We're still encouraging that in there, but those written testimonies are huge. So every single new ambassador needs to be added to that testimony group. Now, here's the key with that. Should you do that the same day that you add to team pages and that sort of thing? That's up to you, because you need to gauge whether or not you're going to overwhelm the person if you didn't add them during the prospecting process. So what I say to do is, when you have that phone call with them, as you're talking to them on the phone, say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and add you to the testimony group, and here you go. In case, if that person's getting crazy overwhelmed with everything, that's when you would do that. The 7-day trial is excellent, you guys. It's excellent for getting people started in Plexus, whether they're a new ambassador and they're just starting out with their welcome pack, so it's much larger than a 7-day trial for them, or whether they are a prospect that you have given a 7-day trial to. I want everybody in that group that is building this business. Every single person needs to be in there and using that 7-day trial group on a monthly basis, and just simply to build belief with their new ambassadors. It is such a huge tool for growth, and sampling is a really easy way to get wholesalers' feet wet in this business so that they can get their products paid for as well. So I love to encourage my new ambassadors to pick up a couple samples as well. So this is something I'm super excited about. We're going to be creating a toolbox for success for you guys. It's going to be a Google Drive or something along those lines that's going to be a shared resource for the team, and it's going to have all the very best tools, one tool per topic. So like this, something on triplex, something on X Factor. I'm not going to have 3 videos on X Factor in there or anything like that. It's going to be one-stop shop for product resources, business resources, everything that we need to duplicate down. So that email that we talked about earlier, the prospecting system, the welcome emails for customers, the product instructions, troubleshooting document, and nutrition guidelines. It's all going to be in there. There's not going to be testimonies in there or anything else like that, but this is going to be a resource guide for you guys so you know exactly what to send them when they're looking for, where do I find all this stuff? You know, I'm so lost, I'm overwhelmed, all this information. This is going to be their toolbox for success in getting started. So, so then the last thing I just wanted to cover again, because we went through all of this on the coaching call the other day, but you want to be coaching up your team in kind of a 90-day cycle. That's a really good way to look at it. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I think we've really keyed in on the important things right now with the onboarding, and it's a lot of information to take in, right? So this is information overload to start, you know, plug your ears, don't listen, but you know, the 90-day cycle is a really good benchmark for how long you should be training each new person coming up on your team, each new leader, that sort of thing. You want to make sure that you have chemistry with the person that you're spending and pouring a lot of time in. Their character is really good. People that trust, you know, if that person has good character and has a lot of trust within their network, that's a good person to pour into. Coachability, they have to want to be coached if you're going to be running with them and spending a lot of time coaching them up in a leadership role. And then they have to be committed. So what I always love to do is, hey, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you this, 3-way chats, team calls, that sort of thing. Then we're going to do this together. So 3-way chats where both of you guys are speaking, both of you guys are talking to the prospect, and then you're going to do this. So running them through those types of things as they're teaching. I do, you do, or sorry, I do, we do, you do. But the most important part to all of this, and including the new ambassador training guide, the Launching Strong guide that we talked about, you guys need to help them have self-accountability. So what do I mean by that? When you give them a task to complete and you say, hey, do this in 3 days, or hey, what have you, give them whatever task it is and say, contact me when you've completed that. So if you're asking them to reach out to their 3 best friends or something like along those lines, Amy would need to contact me back when she's done with that task. This way, it takes the ownership and puts it on them. It takes that potential blame for their lack of success and takes it off of you as their leader and puts it right on them. They need to be contacting you back when they have done the task that you have told them to do, because that's a sure sign of how committed they are. That's a sure sign to keep that process moving. Now, I'm not saying never follow back up and say, hey, did you ever contact those people? You do need to do that. That's a huge part of that. But you only do that so many times before you say, you know what, I need to find a different person to coach because this person's probably not quite ready for it right now. So let me see. I have missed all of the chats, but Amy, you want to wrap it up? Sorry.
I do. So I want to say a couple things, guys. If you missed that coaching call, go back and watch it. It's alive, because those 4 C's really opened my eyes. Because if you're coaching anyone on your team, you may fall into the trap that many of us have. I've spent countless hours spinning my wheels. Somebody that I wanted it worse than they did, right? So those 4 C's, they can't just have 1 C or 2 C's. They have to have all 4 of them. That was really eye-opening for me. And the same thing with them following up with you. I mean, I would spend countless hours just getting people on the coaching calls. And I'm like, why am I doing this if they don't want it? So definitely go back and watch that. I did want to wrap up the duplication, though, with these systems, because, guys, I don't want you to overthink this, okay? Do not overthink this. It is simple. What should you do right now? Start using the first 48. That's it. It's 4 simple steps. Write it on a sticky note. Do it starting now. The next person, that you join, you want to use those 4 steps. In fact, I want to tell a little story too. I know we're close to almost 9 o'clock, but Sarah duplicated a system when I started that she may not even realize, and I carried it on for the longest time, but it's probably the reason I'm working the business. When I joined, guys, I literally told her, do not add me to any Facebook groups. I told her that. I was like, do not do it. I wanted nothing to do with this business. Not only did she add me to her Facebook team page, she also, in the email she sent me the product instructions and she sent me the compensation plan. And back then, the compensation manual was pretty big. It wasn't the PDF we have now. But guess what? I still clicked it and I still opened it. And I still kind of stalked a little bit on the team page and was kind of a little voyeur. And probably because of those 2 things is why I got interested in sharing. But had she not followed that system and had she let the person be the system and didn't add me to the team page and didn't send me anything about the business because I told her I wasn't interested, I may not be here. Right? So follow the systems. Just don't overthink it. I want everyone to do the first 48. Make it easy on yourself, guys, because if you overthink it, you're going to come up with all these excuses. You're going to think, oh my goodness, don't think about it. Just do it. But also I want you to make it your own. Okay. Now that I don't think that means change it all. And we all know everyone should still be added to a jewel page. But listen, guys, if you're talking to somebody and you don't feel comfortable adding them to all of those groups Sarah talked about the day they join, then wait until you talk to them on the phone, right? And then add them to those groups, right? So you can use some of your own kind of judgment on these things. And then what I would do, I would start using that 30-day right now for all of your business builders that have joined in the last 90 days. I would get that starting strong sheet right now. And I would start using it with them. Like you don't have to wait to get a newbie to start using that going strong 30-day sheet. So I'm excited. Thank you, Sarah. I know you put a lot of time in this. I know we've been talking about that external website for a long time. Now we're just going to do it. I'm really excited about that too. So
yeah, and I just can't reiterate the fact that enough that you guys are the catalyst to getting this to duplicate. So you've got to talk to your team, your leaders, anybody adding to your team. So if you see somebody adding people to your team this month, reach out to them and say, hey, we have this great new system. Let me send you this, the Launching Strong guide. Please send this email to them. This is going to help us, really, really get started a lot better. But it's going to take some initiative. It's going to take some concentrated effort in getting this to take off. But if we can get everybody doing this, it's going to really, really explode the team and give everybody confidence and just have them be so much more empowered.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you. See you guys soon. See you tomorrow on Team Taylor for the Lunch and Learn. Bye, guys. Bye.